Welcome to the Microsoft Office Add-ins Community Call, everyone. My name is David Chesnut. I'm your host for this call. And let's take a look at the agenda and our presenters for today. So joining us today is Raymond Lu, who will be talking about some Excel.js API updates. Also joining us is Lillian Liu, who will be talking about some PowerPoint ribbon updates. And Hitesh Manwar will be going through some UX changes for Outlook add-ins on the web. And also joining us today are Nikhil Verma and Ying Hao, who will be going through a discussion around building for the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. If you do have a question, just type it into the chat and we will answer those questions as we go through the call. If there are any questions that we're unable to get to today, we post a blog summary of the call afterwards, and we'll put the unanswered questions in there along with the answers in that post. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started and go to the Excel API updates for 1.13 with Raymond Lu.
Yeah, let me share my screen. My name is Raymond Lu. I'm program manager. I'm focused on Excel API, JavaScript API. Today, I'm gonna give you a little bit update about the 1.13 requirement set API for the 1.13 requirement set, which will be the this July, releasing this July. So among all these API that we got targeting for 1.13, we believe this is one of the most important high request by external customer, which is insert worksheet from base 64. So this was the one, actually it's a top user voice. It got a lot of votes from the user voice, so we prioritize on that. And I would like to recap what we have presented actually a few months ago, and we do have some improvements for the API design, and to make it align with all the other application like Word or PowerPoint. And also we improve the parameter, so you can use that to call this API. And most importantly, actually last week, and we have shared these code samples in the script lab. You can find, you can search for the insert from base 64 API. Then you can have a try. This is the code samples. With that, you can see how to use that API. It is available for you. So this API is ready for the preview, especially for Excel Online. Please try it out and let us know your feedback. And if there's no major issue, that this API will be in the requirements at 1.13 and released in this July. And together with what insert from base 64 API, we have some other API like in workbook, in dependency, like the range related API. Also, we have few events like a formula change and workbook unactivated, and also some API related to pivot table, pivot layout, and the table style. Okay, so today I would like to share some update about the API related to range and table. So before that, I would like to share you how to preview our 1.13 API. I believe many people will know, just in case that if you're new to Office.js, so you can use that tips. So you can change this from 1.0 to the beta, and also add a preview here. Then you can have a capability to call the preview API. The range age API actually is including two API, range extended API and also get range age API. So these APIs actually is simulate the user action. So when you click, for example, if you are here, you want to move, you usually hold the control key and move your keyboard like up, down, left, right. So usually people are doing this, right? Is keep pressing left and right, so it can find the edge of the range. So this is what we called get the range and get the range edge. And meanwhile, if you are clicking, if you hold the control key and then you can click left, they can extend the range. So something like that. So that is what we are trying to do. So this API will enable you to get these kind of information. So get range, edge, and also extend your range. So it can have you can input the parameter can be the direction, which direction you want to go, left, right, up and down, and also it has an optional parameter which is active cell, and it will tell you which you will need to tell them which cell you want to activate it, and this is actually optional. By default, is the one that top left one. Okay, and here is some sample code. You can use that. For example, you can make it extended down, and then you can select the extended range by using this code. I will show you live demo after that. And another API I would like to introduce is table resize. So user sometimes we need to do like this. Okay, we want to resize this table by doing this and this and also this. Yeah. So this is resize by clicking this little corner. You can do this resize. However, API at this moment, existing API don't support that, so we provide this API to be able to resize. Okay, so you can also make it very easy. So just give it a range, and then you can use a range to set the new table size. Okay, so now I would like to give you a demo for these three API. So demo one is the range, get the range edge, and also get extended range. So for now, I'm going to do get the range edge. If I want to, if I just simulate what I'm clicking, control up, hold the arrow key up, then he will go to the edge of this range, and then you still can get another round of up, so it go to the next one. It's just similar to your keyboard action. You hold Control key to keep to moving, and then you can connect another game. So you move to the edge, and also it can do one more time, and it goes to the top of these. Okay, and you can also do down, 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 down. Yeah, it's pretty much of that. You can do all the direction you want to do. Yeah. And meanwhile, as we also can do selection, if you hold Control and Shift, then you can do that. We can simulate by API. For example, if I want to do if I want to do right and then extend it to right, then it goes to this direction. And you go to again and again. There's like the whole row. Similar to the down thing. Yeah, it's the same, down. And if I go to extend it and extend it. If I extend it, it's every row in this table. Okay. That's pretty much of what I'm going to demo to you, the range, edge, and get extended range. And another demo is the table resize API. So what I show you is how you can do it manually. Our API can also do it now. For example, if I want to make it bigger size, I can and then I can click resize. It can resize, and also can choose bigger resize lines. So here, yeah, this is a get range edge, and also just get extended range, and this is this resize, very easy. Just using the range. Range is what was my selection, so you can use that to resize the range. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much of my my demo. Yeah, please let me know if you have any question.
Cool. Thank you, Raymond.
Sure.
Next up is Lillian.
Cool. My name is Lillian. Today I'm going to be talking about some new and exciting PowerPoint ribbon updates that we're going to be pushing out. So just a quick recap, these are going to be available really soon, so probably within the next week on Office Online. And we are going to be doing a fast follow on desktop and Mac. And around the May timeframe, we're just finishing up coding this quarter. So that's kind of accounting for rollout time. So the features that I'm going to be talking about today are going to be allowing native controls in your ribbon, being able to set your tab location to any location you want, and then also being able to set focus to that particular tab. So I'll go into that in a little bit more detail shortly. And then we also have some docs available right now. So they are marked with preview, but it is GAing very soon. So these are all going to be accomplished through the manifest. So we're going to be essentially extending app commands or the custom node within your manifest. And from here, you can designate the location. You can designate whether you want to be importing any custom controls. And I will show a quick demo of that at the end. So for the first feature for native buttons, what this means is that you can now directly take any chunk from within the native ribbon and actually port that into your own ribbon. And you can mix and mingle those with your existing add-in controls. So we support both taking a whole group, so we can take paragraphs, or you can also take a single control like bold, and then you can kind of mix and mingle those two together. So in the manifest, we'll be introducing 2 new elements, and there will be a lookup table where you will be able to find the mapping of each control and group to their relevant IDs. We don't allow you to, so yeah, let's go through some of the restrictions. If you import a whole group, we don't allow you to take out a specific button or alter that group in any way. So if you import that comes entirely. And if you are using any enable disable APIs, these will not work on the native buttons. So a lot of them are contextual. So for example, like bold, that would be disabled until you highlight text. And any controls that have that will obey their native instructions, and you won't be able to actually control those. So the second one is placement. So as you may know right now, for tabs, if you insert an add-in, the tab will default right to the end. So kind of so you can see script lab here. What this does is you can now insert that tab anywhere you want in between native tabs. So I can say insert after or insert before. So if we have an insert before tab home, it'll go here. So it'll go between file and home. For this, if we have any collisions, so if multiple add-ins want to be inserted in the same location, it'll be resolved by installation order. So the last installed add-in will take that location and it'll just push all the other add-ins down. And what happens also is that we will take the natural order of the tab. And what that means is that if the user goes and right-clicks and goes to Ribbon Manager and say, I move my home tab down to the end of the line, if you specify, hey, I want to insert before tab home, we will take the natural order. So we will take the order of home being near the front. So kind of unaltered. And the last one is focus. So what this means is Just like when you open up a document for the first time, you'll see the ribbon default over to home. Your add-in can now do this. So if you actually insert your add-in before the home tab, if the user closes that document and opens it again, the tab will automatically open to your add-in tab, just like it would do natively. And just quickly for fallback options, so if it isn't, if the user is on a version of Office that doesn't support this feature, we will ignore the elements. So we will just parse the parts of the ribbon that we understand for that version. And you can also opt out of this by specifying the requirement set, in which case your add-in will not show up for that version of Office. And then just a quick demo. So I have a manifest open here. As you can see, I have my extension point. I have an insert before tab home. And then I just have a bunch of native controls here. And I've siloed the add-in here, so you can see. So I have my Contoso add-in. You'll notice that this tab is in between file and home. And I have a bunch of native controls here that I have mixed and mingled together. Cool. Yeah, that's the end of the demo. Really excited and looking forward to everyone trying this. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them during the session.
Thank you, Lillian. So I believe up next is Hitesh.
Yeah.
Talking about some Outlook UX updates.
Hello all, thank you for joining in this call. I'm Hitesh and I'm a PM in the Outlook add-ins team. And I'll give short updates on some of the UX changes that we're doing for add-ins on the Outlook web. So this is especially applicable to over commercial users for whom the add-ins are primarily deployed by their admins. And what happens today is that whenever an admin gives an add-in to the user, the add-in goes into this overflow menu in the Outlook web, which can be accessed from the small three dots that you see, be it reading pane, calendar surface, or compose mode. All the admin installed add-ins go into this overflow here. This leads to some problem where a user has no text or visual clue whether a new add-in is given to them. And it's not like users don't have control to pin the add-ins, but the setting to do that is also quite difficult to find. So if you know about this setting, it'll take about 4 clicks and a scroll for you to go in the Outlook setting and choose the add-in that you want to pin on the ribbon, right? So we are making changes to this approach now, wherein we are bringing some kind of parity to the way the add-ins appear on the Outlook ribbon, right? So what we are doing is that whenever an admin installs an add-in, be it on any surface, be it calendar, compose, or read mode, the add-ins by default appear on the ribbon surface, and user will see a one-time nudge on that add-in, informing them that a new add-in has been installed, right? This is just a demo of this. So this is a calendar add-in that your admin gave, and the add-in will get pinned on the ribbon, and the user will see a small nudge saying that, hey, this add-in has been given to you by your IT admin. The user will also have option to customize this ribbon, wherein they can click on this button and it will directly take them to the settings for customizing the ribbon, right? So this will also be applicable to other surfaces. So this is just a demo for what you saw for the compose mode, wherein if the user goes on the compose mode and if there is a new add-in there, the add-in will be pinned on the ribbon and the user will see a nudge on top of that add-in, right? So this change will be live soon. So this will be coming in April next month, that is, for all OVA commercial users. And we are not stopping here. We will be bringing up more changes to improve the add-in discoverability and accessibility on Outlook Web. So stay tuned. We will be announcing more. And that's all I have. But if there are any questions, I'll be checking them out in the chat. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you, Hitesh. So next up will be a discussion on building for the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. This will be Nikhil Verma and Ying Hao.
Hey, thank you so much, David, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. No matter where you are, just wish you have a great day. My name is Ying Hao. I'm a principal program manager at CSE, Customer Success Engineering Team. And today with me is Nikhil. Nikhil, do you want to jump in to introduce yourself to the community?
Hi, everyone. This is Nikhil. I'm a PM on the Customer Success Engineering team, along with Ying. And today we want to have a quick discussion on what does success with building for Microsoft 365 look like?
We talk about that we are coming from customer success engineering team. Our goal is what are the key things? What are the key perspectives? What things can do to help our customers and our developers being successful? So to begin with, one of the things that we really want to have a couple of high-level questions that want to get your feedback. As David said earlier, please engage through Teams. I know that there might be different capabilities you're using, but as we're going through this, please using chat to share your thoughts and process about the questions. Nikhil and I, we're going to monitor those closely, and we can have a digital conversation. And let's see how that goes. So first of all, the first question for most questions that we want to understand is from your perspective, what success look like for you? So can you, share with us, what does it mean for you to be successful? What are the key elements that you're thinking as a developer? Is a lack of support for laser, I see. Okay, thank you. Success means being able to build the functionality I need with my integration from an add-in I have not deployed to user. Yeah, what are some of the success metrics that you're using to track the success? What is a good day for you, right? What is not so good day? What is okay, public folder support? Gary, do you mind elaborate a little bit more on the public folder support there? Thank you, James. So you're talking about building robust, performant user experience that integrate well into world. Yeah, I like that. Leslie, success equals user happy. Really like that, yeah. Developer tools maturity. Thank you, Brendan. And please keep the answers coming, and we're closing that. The next question I'm going to move on is, okay, what do you like? What are the things that you feel like we're doing a good job in the current ecosystem? And then the follow-up question is, what are some of the pain points that you're facing? What are some of the challenges? I know folks earlier already talked about that, noted. Please keep that information and the conversation going. And thank you, building a consistent user experience across the Office suites, yeah, with us as much a common API usage as possible. I see. There might follow-up questions for those that define the success and sharing your definition of the success. What's missing there, right? What are the gaps that we could do better? Eric, I thank you. I like your comment about the OAuth experience. And what are some of the things that differentiate? The things that you feel like it's not doing well? What are the main pain points that you're experiencing? I like that. Ryan, thank you so much for your response. Can you elaborate when you say PowerPoint API functionality? Is that which questions that are you addressing? Or is that something you enjoying, you like, or something? That's a pain point that you're currently having. PowerPoint API is not quite as advanced as SEO. Okay, great. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, pain point. I appreciate it. That's great. Thank you so much. And also, we won't be able to go through every individual comment during the call, but definitely thank you. That's exactly the conversation we are hoping for. Really appreciate it. Please continue, keep the feedback coming. And one thing that I want to call out is Michael. You liked about this community call, both the discussions as well as answering of the questions that submitted. Really, really appreciate that. That's fantastic. And Alan, thank you so much for your thought process in terms of agreed on the developer tools, maturity, PowerPoint APIs, functionality, and the thing that I struggle with. I have Visual Studio add. Thank you. Yeah, that is a great feedback. Inconsistency with the actual platform. I see. Can you elaborate a little bit more? Gongtan, sorry if I may not pronounce you. I don't know if I pronounce your name correctly. Inconsistency with the actual platform. I would love to understand a little bit more about what those means. And folks, please keep coming. That when you make a point, please clarify. Is a things you like, is it a pain point that you're having, and really here that we're trying to collect those data to see what we can do to make your life easier and help to support your success. Please continue type in, because the previous 3 questions is more of open-ended questions, and really as you think about more, please continue the information coming in. One of the things that as we're evaluating, kind of think about what we can make your life easier. We break down into the kind of ecosystem and journey into different components. The question I'm going to ask, I'm going to talk a little bit outside, but 2 questions I'm going to ask in the end, and it's going to tease that at the beginning is, 1, from your experience perspective, from your life cycle perspective journey, are there any major components that are actually super important in your to support your full experience that are not called out? What are the things I'm missing? Number 1. And then number 2 is, I put the numbers into different key components in terms of, the full and developer ecosystem or the journey. Help us prioritize what are the most important things for you to support your success. Let's just pick top 3. Right, those are the cool questions that I'm going to ask in the end. But just to quickly go through kind of different components as we think about the developer ecosystem, we have the onboarding component that's bringing you into kind of the platform that we have, whichever products you're using. We have a set of the APIs and SDKs, as some of the developers talking about. It enable you to build the extensive experience, user-friendly experience, along with the telemetry. There's onboarding aspects for that, and there's a run states after that, the continuation of that. There's a data collection part of it, analysis inside. So how you making sure you have the right data, you have the right analysis, and from data, from analysis, what did it learn from it, so that you can adjust your experience or the product development. There's health and monitoring aspect for that. How is everything going? Are there any issues? And then there's a knowledge and content management that we're, in lack of a better term, is there are kind of a framework that we work with you. We're a partnership. You are our extended, reach to our customers, and we're going to the common knowledge, common sharing, co-authoring type of thing, content as well as code. The issue resolution and the case management. If there's issues, are you getting the right support? Are you getting the right conversation having to make your life easier? And the intelligence part out there, is there any aspect that we're providing to help you build intelligence on top of the platform, on top of what we do? Last but not least, we talk about the ecosystem and community. So those kind of the way that we're thinking about a different aspect of the developer journey. Now, let me pause and ask the two questions that I asked earlier again. One, are there anything missing that is in your life, in your kind of journey that that is not called out here? We really want to know anything we've missed. Two, what are the top three? Thank you, Atso. Hope I pronounced your name correctly, and please, please help us to see, hey, what are the things that you think are top of your mind to enable your success? 642 are being called out. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, are there any gaps in the health and monitoring capabilities? And what do you do when you have an issues and you do support? Thank you so much. Improving debugging system, clear trace output. Thank you. One missing end-to-end testing support. Thank you so much. That's a great point to call out. And 248. Thank you. WebView 2, debugging Excel, add in errors. Thank you so much. Yeah. Anyone else? Out of the things, what are the most important thing for you? 258. Thank you. I'll give some time for folks to kind of think through. Documentation. That is a great point. Yeah, documentation is a perspective. In our vocabulary, we're thinking about part of onboarding, but you're absolutely right. That needs to be called out specifically. So we'll get that. 1 and 2, I see. 8251. So I don't have all the dev capability to aid my troubleshooting work. Yeah, thank you. Troubleshooting documentation, self-guide seems something that you would like to see in a doc. So submit, you talk about commercial marketplace process. Do you mind elaborating more? What specifically you have in mind? Help us kind of break that down a little bit more. And others, please continue the conversation. For those who, think looking at the slides, the question right now is, hey, on here through your entire journey. Yes, Van, you did mention Blazor support. What are the key things missing in kind of your whole developer journey? And what are the top 3 things that are most important to you to enable your success? 5, 6, and keep documentation up to date. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, to respect time, this is a conversation that we'd like to keep going. There's still folks coming in with the response. It takes some time, so I will give a couple of extra minutes here that we can have the conversation. So I think thank you so much. What I want to say is thank you so much, everyone. As Nikhil and I, we are starting to think about what to really evaluate the entire ecosystem, what we can really do better to support your success, to support you to enable better adoption for the M65 applications and enable your customers to success. I love the earlier comment, success equals happier users. So we want this conversation to be ongoing. So please feel free to contact us and join our success customer panel because we are going to have contact a set of customer research surveys as well as have one-on-one conversations to really understand your challenges and get your ideas to see how we can make you successful and how we can increase product adoption and make the entire product suite successful. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today, and I have to say that we're overwhelmed with the response you have. Really appreciate your candidate feedback and share your thoughts. And please, if you are willing, join our success panel and let me and Nikhil know. And happy to have a conversation and to see what we can do to make your life easier. Back to David.
Thank you, Ying. That was a very insightful discussion. Just one quick question, the links for is that links to your email on that call to action slide, or is that something else?
That's great clarification. Yeah, the top one is an email for both of us. The link is a customer, we call it customer panel, that the developers, you can click the link, and there's a couple of basic information that would ask for you. And there you become part of a customer panel. The benefit for that is we're engaging a group of customer with different background and different context. And when we have customer research like this, today is only a beginning. We are going to reach out for one-on-one conversations, as Nikhil called out in the chat, where my arrange focus group discussions that to share, continue to get your feedback, as well as potentially share some of the early thinking ideas and to validate those with you, so that you will be on the journey with us as we are forming ideas, various ideas in terms of how to make your life easier.
Okay, great. Yeah, so yeah, between Michelle and I will try to get these links either into the chat, or we also post these links in the blog afterwards. So if anyone is looking for these, just look for that, the blog summary.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone here. And please keep your feedback coming. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's very insightful for me as well, because, you know, I think about agendas for these community calls. And so it's interesting to hear the feedback and think about how this might shape maybe some future agenda items. So that's always very useful.
That's great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, because I think somebody mentioned something about support, and I was thinking, oh, that's kind of something we've been looking at, is maybe have a talk about support or something. So yeah, that might come up on a future call. All right, so moving along, our community spotlight slide, where we like to recognize community contributions from folks. Thank you again, Maarten van Stam, MVP, who's been helping us out on the PMP site, submitting some PRs with some fixes for things and helping review PRs. So we really appreciate that. Thank you, Maarten. And if you want to help with community help, we're active out on GitHub. You can check out our office-js-docs-pr repo, which is where our documentation is, or the PNP-office add-ins repo, where we publish samples. Yeah, if you want to submit PRs and help us out, that would be fantastic. And we'll mention you on the slide. And then Q&A. Now I feel kind of guilty about this Q&A slide. This is where I always try to answer questions that came in on the form. And there were 2 questions that came in, and those questions are out. I just don't have the answers back yet. I think there's one about, someone was asking about a timeline for an on-compose feature for Outlook. And I think there's, I believe, another question on the registry key from Juan's demo last month on COM add-in compatibility with Outlook add-ins. So I will publish those in the blog once I get the answers back. I'm just feeling guilty now because somebody mentioned they really like this part of the community call. So I'll do my best to have the answers lined up on the next call. And let's see, moving along here. If you're new to Office add-ins, here's a link to our documentation, which has lots of useful information at aka.ms/office add-ins docs. You'll find 5-minute quick starts, so you can get up and going and try out an add-in on Excel or Outlook, PowerPoint, etc. Also, if you're just looking to automate Excel tasks, you can check out Office Scripts. There's an aka.ms link for Office Scripts docs there. Also, there's useful developer resources out there. I always recommend you sign up for the Microsoft 365 Developer Program if you're developing add-ins, because that gives you a free Microsoft 365 tenant for the purposes of doing development and testing, which is super useful. Another thing to check out if you haven't is Script Lab at the link there. That allows you to just open up sample code samples and try them out in Excel, all without having to set up a dev environment. So it's a quick way to get started if you want, or just to check out different samples. And then the Office add-ins documentation, again, there's a link to that. If you want to engage with us, if you have any questions, you can go to stackoverflow.com, and we've got some tags there listed that you can use depending on what area you have a question on. If you find something that looks like a bug, let us know in GitHub. Go to the Office dev/office-js repo, where we track any product platform issues that are coming up for folks. And if you have any feature suggestions you want to let us know about, go to our user voice site. And of course, you can always send a smile or frown from inside Office itself, along with any feedback you might have. This isn't the only Microsoft 365 developer community call. We also have these additional ones. So if you're interested in adaptive cards or Power Apps or SharePoint, go check these out. They are happening every month. There's an aka.ms link there, which will take you to the list of invites for all those calls. If you want to see them at M365 Dev Calls. And finally, thank you for attending the call. We really appreciate everybody attending, especially that feedback, which is really great. The recording of this call will be available soon afterwards on our Microsoft 365 Developer YouTube channel. If you haven't seen that, go check it out at the link there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Microsoft 365 Dev. The next call will be coming on April 14th, second Wednesday of every month at 8 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. There's a link there if you need the invite to that. And also, if you have any questions in advance, let us know. You can go to the Office add-ins form there at that aka.ms link, and we'll work to get those answered in the call. So once again, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you on the next call.